Okay, so Esirigho Ofurhie, thank you very much for joining me today. We're delighted to have you on with ourselves, talking about AXA Community Bike Rides and your involvement. If you'd like to begin by just maybe telling us a bit about yourself.
Hi, hi Mary. Thanks for the interview. I'm Esirighos Ofurhie. I'm a pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, and I moved, originally born in England, but originally from Nigeria. My parents are from Nigeria, so I moved to Ireland in 2011, and to pastor one of the churches here, and I've been doing that since then. Since 2011, and it's been fantastic being here in Ireland. Married to a wife with 3 younger children, one just about to turn a teenager this week. So quite excited about that. Yes.
Very good, very good. So you must be quite busy with 3 children.
Yeah, it is. It is, and the children are quite. I've raised 2 boys. I mean, a girl and two boys. The girl's going to be 13, and the boys, they're very active, and they like cycling to school or walking to school. So it's kind of we have a very active life somehow. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. And in terms of how you heard about AXA Community Bike Rides and why you decided to get involved, do you want to share that with us as to where?
Yeah, funny enough, I live in the south of Dublin. You see a lot of cyclists cycling about. It's quite, you look at it and it's quite nice seeing as well. But one thing I wanted to do was to get into a group ride. And so I just went on the internet and just Googled, cycling club and all that. And AXA and a few other came up. And I read about AXA and it was quite interesting. And I saw some of the promotion you were doing, saw some of the challenges if one were to join, and I felt it was quite encouraging that you had a solo and you had a group ride as well. So I thought it was quite interesting. So that is how I found out about AXA, and hey, I signed up to AXA Community Ride.
Yeah, and congratulations, because I see that you have just completed your 100 rides, which is great.
Yes.
And I saw the lovely picture with you in your t-shirt. Yeah, they're becoming sought after now as people start promoting wearing them. People looking on, members are very keen to actually go and get one.
Yeah.
We know that members have lots of different favorite routes. Could you describe your favorite route, given you've completed 100 rides? If you were to pick your favorite route that you would do and describe that for us.
Yes, my favorite route really would be on the N11, to be honest, because it's quite a long stretch. I usually like the 20 kilometer challenge, because the N11 is also a straight route, so it's kind of easy, starting down near Bray and going all the way down towards where you have the RTE, your broadcasting network, and back. So it's quite straightforward and easy, and that's my favorite route. Yeah, so it's quite safe. So
Okay.
yeah, I like that.
Very good, very good. And what have you found are the main benefits for you in taking part in AXA Community Bike Rides and in cycling in general?
Yeah, for me, part of it's kind of I find it very peaceful, when you go in terms of when the weather is good, I find it really peaceful and a pleasure to ride. But one of the key benefits as well is getting fit, because I remember during the first lockdown, I actually traveled and came back home in the lockdown, and I realized that after maybe about a month, or maybe about a month to 2 months, I realized I'd kind of put on 8 kg of weight. And went on the scale, I was like, oh my goodness, how did I get here? Because I remember some of my clothes were getting tighter, and I was telling my wife that it looks as if my clothes are shrinking. So I went on the scale, I said, oh no, they're actually not shrinking, I put on weight. So it was quite funny. So then, so it's quite encouraging with it. So I looked at it as weight loss at the same time. It was quite a pleasure as well. and I look at the children as well, and the children, they usually look up to you as a parent, because it's not like, it's not about saying what you, it's not about telling them what to do, but they want to observe you do the same thing. So they had their bicycles like 2 years ago and haven't had mine. So it was like a way of encouraging them as well to see daddy being on bike and encourage them to go out as well. So it was, those were part of the incentives as well. And besides that, what was encouraging me was that I was going to meet up with new people, community as well, within our locality. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, it's interesting, isn't it? Lockdown has affected everybody in lots of different ways, and everyone has their own stories to tell. But as you say, clearly you've benefited from being out on the bike, which is great. And that idea of peacefulness and being able to just get away on the bike, on your own. I noticed there that you had expressed an interest in becoming a leader. You've not been, am I right in saying you've not been able to take part in a group ride in your area yet? Yeah, because there aren't any. And I thought it was great that, as you've obviously gained confidence with regards to the number of rides you've completed yourself, you've now decided to take on that challenge of becoming a leader. But what kind of group rides do you hope to lead? What's your plan with regards to those?
Yeah, my group rides that I hope to lead will be within range. It will range within 15 kilometers to a maximum of 25 kilometers, and that is my aim. But started from Shankill, and going towards on the N11 and back. So that is my aim. Kind of starting around. We have a coaster right at Shankill here, and cycle all the way down and back. So that's my aim really, because I've noticed as well that in this part, when I looked at to sign up for a group ride, I noticed that the only group ride close to this area is either in Wicklow, which is about 35 minutes ride from here, or have to go all the way to Sword, which is going towards the airport, and it's a bit of a distance, and I'm like, there's nothing close by here. It'd be nice to start something here.
Yeah, very good, very good. And I suppose we've got lots of members that are registered on our website, but some of them have yet to actually take part in any ride. So they've kind of yet to get up on the bike and get going. What advice would you have for them?
Well, to be honest, I'll tell them to take up the challenge, because the idea is it's about meeting up within the community. And one thing I do know is that sometimes being solo, because one thing I try to do, being solo, sometimes when you're going for the long ride, like the 40 kilometers ride, sometimes it can be a bit challenging just on your own. But I suppose that if you sign up and go on a group ride, it kind of make it easy, because you can talk to people, and with a group, there's more energy, there's more synergy. So I'll encourage them. It's a good way to meet up people. It's a good way to get fit. And above all, as you get fit, perhaps you can take it a notch forward, like cycling to work, or cycling to your locality. In a way, we're talking about getting greener in terms of the weather and all that, the ozone layer, so we can help save the planet as well. So that will be encouraging. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I suppose, one of the things that I would be conscious of is we can see from the images that are shared with us, in terms of the types of populations that are involved within our bike rides, so whether we've got more females involved or males involved. I suppose one of the things then that we would be hoping to see is a growth in the number of Black and ethnic minority groups participating in cycling. Is there any advice that you would have for us as program organizers? We're running the initiative, as to how we might go about doing that.
Yes, to be honest, that actually did cross my mind as well, and that's one of the reasons why I was trying to. Sorry, that's just my alarm. Yeah, that's why I'm planning to enlist for leadership role as well, to lead a bike, and to lead cycling as well, to lead a group. I know that generally, naturally, in terms of the probably say from the African descent, it's they kind of use in driving, they kind of like that. This is not something that they naturally want to do. But one thing I know is that once they see someone, because I notice that sometimes when I go on the ride, because I go on my full gear and people see, and they're quite encouraging. And there's some people within the community as well, from the African descent, that once in a while I cycle to work and they see me at work and I say, wow, how do you able to do this? And they're beginning to show interest because you can see likes like them doing it. And I'm kind of encouraging them as well that, hey, you can do it, and they're actually looking forward to it. It's like when you lead the way, when you've done yours, let us know. Perhaps we will join in. So I'm hoping that that will encourage them as well. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. And is there anything in relation to how we advertise, or any thoughts that you would have? Just, I suppose, I would be interested myself, because I'm like, we advertise the program as open and accessible to all, but I think sometimes we can put that label on it and hope that people see and say, oh yeah, that looks like it is open and accessible. But I'm just wondering if you have any other thoughts with regards to that.
Yeah, I'll probably say in terms of your magazine and all that, if you have any things like the migrant community who are presently doing it, I don't know how many, perhaps if you put them sometimes on your cover page as well, so that way they feel there's more inclusion, that will help, because pictures are people like to see a lot. I mean, pictures sells a lot of things, so they can see that within the community. Because one thing I can say easily, like in all your magazines that I've been looking at, it's only ones that I've seen person of color on it. So it's kind of, yeah, and I was quite encouraged when I saw that. So I feel that if we could see more more other inclusion as well,
Yeah.
I think it will encourage people as well to say, yes, this is open to all.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing that. I suppose I would have been conscious that we would have utilized your image back in March, for the Move for March campaign, and it was with that in mind. But obviously we're conscious then that, like, we haven't received images from any other Black individuals with regards to us being able to utilize those images, and what we don't want to do is utilize just images for the sake of them. You know what I mean? We're just pulling an image. Like, we want the images that represent the program to be real people, where possible. Is there anything else that you'd like to add from your perspective, or anything that I have?
Yes, to be honest, a bit of insight, if we could do something like a day training. One thing I know is that I know when I started cycling here in Ireland, when my mom heard, she was quite worried in terms of safety. That, yeah, and because I know that, like, the schools here, they do train the children as well. They take them on school ride. I mean, they have a bike week where a trainer comes in and train the children. And a lot of the migrant community that migrated here, they would not have had such training. So having to come and start doing a road bike or going on the road, it's quite daunting for a lot of them. So that can be a bit discouraging. So perhaps if one could occasionally, does do a community training, that may, give them the confidence. Because for me, I could tell you that when I started I'll just give you a bit of a background of my own self. The last time I really rode bicycle was when I was in primary school. So you can imagine that, maybe, yeah. And now I'm 30, now I'm 43. So that probably could have been when I was 10, 11, when I rode bicycle last. Then coming to Ireland, I had a friend, a wonderful guy, Owen, and he took me on a mountains bike. That was probably, I'll probably say about 2015, and I went on it only once, and I was quite scared because imagine, having the last time I rode was about 10, 11 years old, then the next thing I'm going on a mountain, and cycling, so quite dangerous. So, but I kind of embraced myself. like, okay, it's something I want to do, but I'm not going to do mountain biking because I felt that was dangerous. I'll probably do road biking because I was interested in cycling. But where I'm going at is last year when I really started out, it was good that the COVID was, I'm not saying it was good that COVID was around, but the lockdown kind of made it easy because there were less traffic on the road. So I'll probably go out for like a 5 kilometers ride first, test it out, go on the road a bit. So I started extending it to gain confidence. Then I started going to YouTube, listening to safety, and check some of your own recording as well about safety and all that. And that kind of easily gave me the confidence as well to go out. And I feel a lot of them, they probably be in that same category.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's general awareness and training for individuals before they get up on the bike. So things they need to be aware of, things they should know, and things. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As I say, we're very keen to have it open and accessible to all, and actually mean that as opposed to say that. So, and I think with you training up to become a leader, we will have a huge opportunity to do that. So Esirigho Ofurhie, thank you very much for joining me today.